Okay, so if you're here with me today, my little chicken cutlets, you are here for the rates and unit rates lesson. And rates and unit rates are very related to ratios. In fact, there's special kinds of ratios, okay? And so while I'm talking, you're going to be writing exactly what's on my paper. And if you need a little extra time, then go ahead and pause the video and catch up and then restart the video. So a rate is a ratio of two quantities with different units. Okay, meaning like they're not necessarily related other than we're putting them together, okay? So an example, a ratio would be saying 27 to 3. But a rate would be like saying $27 to 3 pizzas, okay? Dollars is a unit and pizzas is a unit. So these are my units right here. Remember my definition said different units. Different units. Dollars, pizzas. They're not anything like each other. If you said, gee, Mrs. Rodriguez, I would really like a slice of pizza, and I give you a quarter, and I said, here, eat this, you'd probably be like, are you crazy? And I would be like, yeah, I must be. Because they're not anything alike. So they're different units, okay? So that's what a rate is, okay? Now, you can also write a rate just like you write a ratio. So we did it here with the word to, right? But you could also write it $27 to 3 pizzas. Notice that when I wrote it that way, even with my colon, I still had my units. I need to know my units. Always have to know my units, okay? And then you would write it as a fraction. You would write $27 over 3 pizzas. And again, I still wrote my units. Never forget your units. Okay? Really, really, really important to have them because that's what makes it a rate. Okay? So now, here's the thing. With a unit rate, you can also simplify it. So you can simplify a rate. 27 pizzas, I'm sorry, sorry, $27 for 3 pizzas would become, divide 3 into 7 and you get $9. And 3 into 3, you get 1 pizza. Okay. So by simplifying it, I made something else. It's actually kind of cool. And this is something that you're going to use a lot as an adult, I promise you. And you might already use it every now and then, like when you go to the store and you're buying something for yourself. But definitely ask your parents. They use this all the time, okay? So this on this side, this is our rate, right? Hard to see, I crossed my T. This on this side is something new, and it's called a unit rate. It's a little bit different from a rate. It's a unit rate. And this is a big one. When you go to 7th grade, you got to understand unit rate. Oh my gosh, Miss Gibson will kill me if you don't understand unit rate. So pay attention here. Here's what makes it a unit rate. What makes it a unit rate is this magic number right here. That's the magic number that makes it a unit rate. Okay? So a unit rate is when one of the quantities is 1. And here's the thing, you always put your 1 on bottom. Put it on bottom. Okay, so when one of your quantities is 1, that's your unit rate. So basically, it's comparing another quantity to 1 unit. Okay, so for instance, we did it up here, right? Okay, well, if I buy 3 pizzas, I have to pay $27. So how much do I have to pay if I buy 1 pizza? You could do this almost for anything that you buy. Okay, so let's dig in and try an example to see how are we going to use unit rate to help us. Okay, so example 1. An asteroid is traveling to Earth. I think that might be worse than the zombie apocalypse. Okay. And it is traveling 5 miles. Sorry. In 8 seconds. Oh my goodness, that's fast. Okay. We want to find out how many miles in 1 second. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to use a rate table. Woohoo! Ratio table, rate table, same thing. Okay? So we learned that the other day. Now we're using it for something else. I love it when we use something from something else. Okay. I have already said that we're trying to find out how many miles in 1 second. And if you remember earlier, I said put the 1 on bottom. So on my ratio table, 1 second, seconds are on bottom. Okay? So that means miles must be on top. Alrighty now. What do I do now? Well, let me read the question. What did it tell me? It told me a rate, didn't it? It told me 5 miles in 8 seconds. So that's 5 over 8. And what did I say we wanted to find? We wanted to find how many miles in 1 second. Okay, so this is a ratio table, isn't it? What I need to figure out is how do I get from 8 to 1, right? Because I'm going down from 8 to 1, I divide. So if I'm going down from 8 to 1, 8 divided by 8 gives me 1. Okay, now I have to figure out how is that going to work? Because now I'm dividing 5 by 8. How is that going to work? Because 8 is smaller than 5. So I guess that means I'm going to end up working with a decimal, probably, right? Or I could use my calculator, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to put 5 into the calculator and divide it by 8. And when you do that, you should get 0.625, I believe. I'm going to double check. Yep. When you do that, you should get 0.625. Now, I'm pretty good with my math, obviously, because I just knew what the decimal was, right? And I know that 0.625 is equivalent to 5/8. So I could say 0.625. Sorry, sloppy pen today. Or I could say 5/8. So the asteroid is going to travel 5/8 miles per second, MPS. I could write it that way. Or I could write 5/8 miles per second. And I love that word per. That per tells me that you did a unit rate. You only use per when it's a unit rate. Okay? So when you're talking about 1, it's per a unit. All right? You don't have to have a number. You don't have to say per 1 second because the per means 1. The word per is 1. Okay? So if you had $9 per pizza, that means $9 for 1 pizza. Okay? Okay. Let's move on. Okay, example 2. A chef buys 6 pounds of salmon. I love me some salmon. You guys know I love food. For $51. How much will another 9 pounds cost? Okay, so once again, I am going to do a ratio table. So my ratio table. Okay, think about it for a second. Which one should be on the top and which one should be on the bottom? We're going to have to find the unit rate for something. What are we going to find the unit rate for? Well, I can give you a hint on one thing. Whenever you see dollars, it's never the unit rate. Okay? It's the other thing that's the unit rate. Okay? So if you're talking about money, it's not usually the unit rate. The other number is your rate. Okay? So salmon is going to be on the bottom. And dollars is going to be on top. And my first ratio is always going to be the rate that they gave me. They told me $51 for 6 pounds. So $51 for 6 pounds. And what I'm going to have to do is figure out how much does 1 pound cost. If I can figure out how much 1 pound costs, then I can figure out how much 9 pounds cost. So if 1 pound, that's my next solution. After I found out 1, then I can figure out how much does 9 cost. So now I know I'm trying to find these 2 numbers. These are my missing numbers. Okay? Okay, well, now it's just like any other ratio table you've ever done, right? You're trying to figure out how do you get from 6 to 1, you divide by 6. And if you do it on the bottom, you do it on the top. So what'll happen when I divide 51 by 6? Use your calculator. You're going to get 8.5. So that means 1 pound of salmon cost $8.50, $8.50. Okay? But now I want to know, okay, now that I know how much 1 pound costs, I want to know how much will 9 pounds cost. Okay? So I have to figure out, how do I get from 1 to 9? I multiply by 9. So that means if I do it on the bottom, I do it on the top, and I'm going to multiply 8.5 times 9. And that's going to give me 76.5. So 9 more pounds will cost me $76.50. But remember, you don't write 76.5, you write 76.50. Because dollars always have 2 digits after it, okay? All right, we're going to do one more. Remember, we found our unit rate, and then we were able to use our unit rate to help us solve the rest of the problem. Okay, example 3. For example 3, we have 2 pounds of shrimp. When I wrote these problems, I must have been in the mood for some seafood that day because I had salmon and shrimp. Cost $16. What is the cost of 7 pounds of shrimp? Okay. Remember, we're trying to figure out the cost for 1 pound. So, shrimp in pounds to dollars. Okay. I started with 2 pounds for $16. And remember, in order to get to 7, I want to find my unit rate. And then I want to find out how much will 7 pounds cost. All right, how do I get from 2 to 1? Divide by 2. So if I do it on the bottom, I do it on the top, and that's going to give me 8. Well, so that means 1 pound of shrimp costs $8. Awesome. Now, how do I get from 1 to 7? I multiply by 7. If I do it on the bottom, I do it on the top. 8 times 7 is 56. So 7 pounds will cost $56. Actually, I shouldn't have written it that way. I should have written it this way. I'm sorry, I made a little bit of a mistake. My bad. I should have written $56 for 7 pounds of shrimp. Okay. All right. Look at that. We have learned units. We've learned rates and unit rates. And we've learned how to use a unit rate to help us find another rate. All right. Now it's time to go practice. See you guys soon.